What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about My Bloody Valentine. Before I get into the actual review, I'm gonna flex the Blu-ray real quick, because that's what I do when I got the Blu-rays and DVDs going on. I just gotta flex them real quick. So I just picked this up. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Got a little slip cover action, and then there's the actual Blu-ray. Beautiful cover art. Nice, like, new original cover art. That's the back. It's just a lot of writing, a lot of reading. Not my thing. No, I'm just kidding. I read. Once in a blue moon. Once every 17 years I does it. And then we got the double disc action. What you know about that? Come on, look at it. Anyways, yeah, so I picked this up recently on eBay. Got it mad cheap. Got it for like $10. So that's hooked up, because a lot of the Scream Factory stuff, it's like limited release. It comes out once and then it never comes out again. It's like out of print. And the Scream Factory stuff, it always has great bonus features. I think this is the first Scream Factory disc I actually have, but some Scream Factory stuff goes for like exorbitant amounts of money, like the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 Blu-rays. I'll see those on eBay for like 50 or $100. Like, you all are crazy if you think someone's. I mean, maybe that's just my opinion, but man, you'll never catch me spending. I mean, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are like, those are like the best. Like, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. I mean, whew, don't get me started on that. But we're talking about My Bloody Valentine. But $50, no way. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I just wanted to flex my Blu-ray. So yeah, pick that up on eBay for $10. I've seen the My Bloody Valentine remake, and I'm a fan of that. You got my boy Tom Atkins. Come on, thrill me. If you all know Night of the Creeps, my boy Tom Atkins, he's always saying thrill me. He's got like his little catchphrase. He says it like 50 times in the movie. If you haven't seen Night of the Creeps, check out Night of the Creeps. But I'm gonna stop plugging other movies. I'm gonna try to stay on topic here. Talk about My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, so I've seen the remake before. I've never seen the original. That's why I picked it up, because I said, you know what, I gotta see this movie. Like I said, the remake, I'm a fan of it. But let me tell you, this movie, the original My Bloody Valentine, 1981, I was like blown away. I thought, I was like, this is a top tier 80s slasher. This is, oh my god, like, I was just like, from the first 5 minutes, you got like, okay, to put this into context, I watched the uncut version, and the uncut version was phenomenal. Like, the kills were like god tier. Like this came out in 1981 too, so it was like very early on in the whole like 80s slasher craze. Like, I was blown away. I was like, these kills are phenomenal, and it's such a shame that this movie was like butchered by the MPAA, and that the version with the original kills wasn't released. The first time they released the uncut version, I believe, was like 2009. I don't know when this Blu-ray came out. Probably after that, or maybe this did come out in 2009. I don't know. I don't know, who cares? But anyways, yeah, they didn't release like the uncut version for a long time, but it is awesome that they still had all that footage and it matched up, because stuff like Friday the 13th Part 7, I don't even think, like, I think all the kills in that, they were like filmed like full screen or something, so they couldn't be added. And like Sleepaway Camp 3 all the kills in that were like full screen and they couldn't be added. They could only be added as a bonus feature. So like that's a shame. Like I love, you know, Sleepaway Camp 3 and actually Friday the 13th Part 7 I like a lot. You know, like Friday the 13th Part 7 slaps. So yeah, basically you know, it's nice that the kills were put in this, but they were able to be put back in this, and it's a shame that other movies they can't be like restored to what they were supposed to be. But yeah, I just for context, I got to see the uncut version, so that was like a big reason why I thought this movie was like a god tier 80s slasher, because the kills and the practical effects were top notch. And something like, just I thought the story was good, and the come on, the mask and the signature weapon, come on. That's the thing with 80s horror movies, or no, 80s slasher movies and slasher movies in general. You know, you have like some, you know, some slasher villains, they don't wear a mask at all, but some do. And I feel like masks for a slasher are very hit or miss. You know, of course, you know, Jason's hockey mask and even the sack, that's pretty iconic. Michael Myers, his mask is iconic. You know, I don't know. Those maybe I sound like a basic bro. Those are the only two I can think of offhand. Just right off the top of my head that are like really good ones. But that's like, maybe that's like a cop out. I just picked two from the big three, so I don't know. Maybe I sound like a basic bro. I don't really care. But anyways, you know, I feel like masks are like hit or miss with slasher villains. Like some masks are just, they're like not scary, or they're kind of goofy, or they just don't work. The mask in this was absolutely phenomenal. And then the miner's pickaxe, come on. He's like, you know, like Steve from Minecraft with it, like straight up pickaxing fools to death. Like it was awesome. Yeah, so you know, the kills were fantastic. The practical effects were fantastic. The killer, he had an iconic look, iconic weapon. Like the mask was really good, and just the way he carried himself, because he was like a silent killer. I think he did like maybe like grunt one time or say like one thing, but other than that he was silent. Like the way he carried himself, he was like big, and you know, this is gonna sound like a cliche thing because everyone talks about this, but like even if it is like a silent character, like you need like a good actor. Like I'm gonna use this example, like, you know, like Nick Castle in the first Halloween, like the way he moves so robotic, and it's like he doesn't even like move really like human. Like he's so like, he's just so like what is the word? Yeah, I'm just gonna say he's like robot-esque. The way he moves, he just like sits up perfectly, and it's just like uncanny. Like the way he doesn't move like a normal person. But then like in Halloween H2O, I feel like that whatever, like the actor that they got to play that Michael Myers, no hate against him, but like he didn't really have like the walk, he didn't really have the demeanor. Like even like with the Friday the 13th, like I'm not the biggest Kane Hodder fan, but he does bring a lot to the role. And like the later Friday the 13th, where just like the breathing, just like the big chest, like just his walk, like the killer in this just had that demeanor, had that like physical presence, had that physicality. So that was thebomb.com. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm already talking about like all like the kind of the aspects of like the killer and, you know, stuff like that, I might as well just say some of my standout kills and then I'll get into a plot summary. So yeah, there's like a couple kills that, I mean, pretty much all the, actually, yeah, all the kill. There was like one cutaway kill in this, but then you did see the aftermath, so that I'm not gonna call that a cutaway kill. But yeah, basically, all the kills in this were good, so it's hard to pick like which ones are better than others. I thought all of them were great, but just some standout kills. Where there's this woman who got killed at this laundromat, and you see the aftermath, and her body's in this like clothes dryer, and it's all burnt up, and the effects look so good. Just like she is just all, like her entire body is just all shriveled and burnt up, and it looks super realistic. There's this one gentleman who his head is like dunked into this vat of boiling water, and I really like the cinematography there. Like you see like inside the water, and then it cuts back to like, you know, the killer like holding his head down, and then it cuts back to his head, and or his face, and it's more burnt up, and then you see the aftermath of that as well. And then there's this one instance where this guy gets killed with a nail gun, and it's like very, it's done like very slow and drawn out, like very painful, and then you get to see like his perspective, like he's getting like the nails in the head, so you see his perspective, and everything's going like blurry, and he's dizzy, and he's just like barely hanging on. So those were some standout kills. But yeah, before I get too deep into the video, I'm gonna give a little plot summary here. I got this DVD or Blu-ray here. I gotta move it. I got all kinds of stuff going on. So okay, so the movie takes place in this small mining town, and it centers around this group of young people. They all work in the mine. I would say pretty much, yeah, the main character is this guy named TJ, and his dad owns the mine. He went out to California to try to get some other stuff going on, like career-wise, but it didn't work out, so he's back in town working at the mine. He's not happy about that. And, you know, during the time when he left, his girlfriend at the time started dating one of his coworkers who was like also his buddy. So there's this whole like love triangle that's happening throughout the movie, and there's this whole tension between TJ and his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend Axel. And basically during like the time and like events of this movie, it's centered around Valentine's Day, of course. I'm just giving you all the plot summary, but yeah, you already know. That was probably dumb to mention, but yeah, I gotta mention it. Whatever. It's centered around Valentine's Day, and there's this, the town is doing this Valentine's dance, but they didn't do the dance for 20 years because 20 years ago there was this incident that happened regarding a Valentine's dance where, you know, there were some miners working, and basically their supervisors just like left them down in the mine to go to this Valentine's dance. And when they were down there, there was like a bunch of methane gas, and there's this explosion, and they were all trapped. They were all killed except one gentleman was able to survive, and they found him, and he had to resort to cannibalism to stay alive. And after that, he was of course just like traumatized, so they like sent him to a mental institution for a year, and then once he got out, he killed the supervisors who were responsible for the explosion, and then he like cut their hearts out, and he had pretty much, yeah, like never been heard from since. So oh well, yeah, and he said like if the town were to put on another Valentine's Day dance, he would come back, kill everyone again. So yeah, that's and then in present day, You know, of course, they're putting on the Valentine's Day dance. So, an individual in a miner's costume who a lot of people believe is Harry Warden, and he came back. So this person in the miner suit is killing people once again and cutting out their hearts and sending them in little Valentine boxes. So that is the plot summary. I just want to mention, because I talked about that sequence where Harry Warden is like resorting to cannibalism. Like, you see him, like when there's like a flashback of when they initially find him, and he's like eating someone's limb. That was scary, because he just had this like crazed look. He just looked like he was just lost. Like, he just like completely just lost it. That was that was really scary. And it was kind of creepy too, like the aspect of like he's locked up in the mental institution. He's just like crazy now. Like, there was that like just element of like craziness about like when they explained his character and the whole backstory. So that was like super creepy and interesting. But in speaking of creepy stuff, I thought in the third act, just the setting itself was really really scary and really effective, and like added a lot of tension to the movie. So they're going down in the mine in the third act. It's 20,000 feet down. Just when they were going down there, I was like, oh heck no, you would not catch me going 20,000 feet in the ground, this small little thing. That, like, the setting is scary. And then they're isolated. How are they gonna get help? And then they're like pretty much trapped too. Like, there's this instance where like they can't get back up. And then another instance of like not a scary setting but a scary situation is they can't get back up on like the little like mine carts. So they're like climbing this ladder for 20,000 feet. And I'm scared of heights, so I was just like tensed up. Like, that like freaked me out. Like the kills and stuff and the gore, like I'm used to that. I was like, yes, I'm like, let's go, this is awesome. But like when they're climbing up the stairs for 20,000 feet, I was like, heck no. I mean, I probably could do that if I had to, but I would not ever want to do that. Like, that would be absolutely terrible. Let me see where I'm at. Talked about Harry Warden. Oh yeah, you know, I did, like, okay, just talking about the whole, you know, the whole holiday theme. So, I've done quite a few holiday themed slashers on the channel. I'm a sucker for a good holiday slasher. I thought the whole Valentine's Day theme was fantastic. I think it was fantastic because you wouldn't think of Valentine's Day as like a scary time. You know, it's like it's like a beautiful, like, loving time. You know, it's like couples get together, husbands and wives get together. It's like a happy, magical, like, loving time. But then they kind of like flipped it on its head, where it's like Valentine's Day from hell. And I don't know, I like, you know, because that's the whole thing of Valentine's Day. It's like a day of love, and you give people like heart-shaped boxes. Like, I like the whole angle of like cutting people's hearts out and putting them in the little Valentine boxes and like toying with the victims. I thought that stuff was awesome. And then I like how like the Valentine's dance was like banned for so long. That kind of reminded me of Halloween 6, where, like, you know, they were talking about like Haddonfield had banned Halloween for like the longest time, and they're like just letting, you know, people celebrate Halloween again. You know, like I like that idea of like, you know, this town has like this scarred past and around the holiday, and like there's so much like trauma, like there's this like catastrophic event, and like the whole town is like forever scarred by it, and they can't, you know, like every Valentine's Day is like a reminder of like that crazy incident. So yeah, all the Valentine's Day stuff, all the holiday stuff, I thought was fantastic, and I love a good holiday slasher. I feel like if people watch the channel, they've noticed that. Like, I love like going throughout the year, and it's like I got my summer horror movies. I got Sleepaway Camp. I got, you know, uh, St. Patrick's Day. I'm watching Leprechaun. You know, what else? I watched, you know, Terror Train for New Year's Eve. Like, I just, it's like fun. It's like you go throughout the year, and it's like you're waiting for these holidays so you can see these fun movies. It's like I'm like, I look forward to it. I look forward to watching these movies, because I don't watch them like year round if they're like centered around a specific time. I like to like say, like, wait for it and make it like a special thing and savor it. I didn't used to do that. Like, I used to just watch stuff like willy-nilly. Like, I would just watch the original Halloween and Halloween 4 like all year round. I would watch it like 5 or 6 times a year or something. I would watch like Halloween in December, or like one time I watched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Christmas. Like, I don't know why I used to do that, but yeah, I don't do stuff like that anymore. But it was fun at the time. But yeah, I just love like these holiday themed slash movies. They're something to look forward to, and I don't know, it just they're I like getting festive, you know? Actually, that's the only thing I do for holidays. I barely even celebrate holidays. I just like watch holiday themed slasher movies, but that's kind of festive. So hey, you know, it's better than nothing. But anyways, on to my next little point here. So this is just something I was thinking when I was watching the movie, because I was like, you know, why are these two individuals like so hung up about this, you know, this girl? You know, it's like I get where TJ's coming from. He's kind of mad that, you know, his girl's like with another guy now, but I'm like, he left, you know? He ditched her. He didn't call her or anything. So I'm like, what's his big hang up? But then I was like, I was starting to think about it, and I was just, you know, I was like watching the movie, and you know, maybe it was because it was the Blu-ray, it was like high definition, but man, the girl they were fighting over, like, she was a beautiful lady. So I was like, man, like, you know what, like, even though they are kind of like fighting for no reason, like, of course, because like initially I was just like, well, why doesn't TJ just go out with another girl now, or something, you know? It's like not a big deal. Like, I mean, he probably had feelings for her and stuff, but I mean, she's moved on. Like, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. But then I was thinking, like, dude, there's probably not a big crop of girls in this small little mining town. Like the girls that are in the movie, that's probably it. Like, there's like 5 girls. Like, there's probably like a couple guys, a couple girls in the town. So it's like, if your homie's like dating her, it's like there's no other girls left. It's like such a small town. It's like there's like 10 people. So it's like, or maybe, you know, maybe he didn't think the other girls in the town were as fine, you know, like, and maybe like the crop of girls that was in this, they were like the finest in the town, and the other chicks were all busted up or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know, maybe they are kind of overreacting and they don't really need to fight over this girl, but I'm like, maybe in this small little mining town, like, they don't have any options. So it's like they straight up just have to like punch each other in the face and like fight over the chicks, like straight up like caveman style. So yeah, that was just a random thing that popped in my head. And then this is just like the last thing I wrote here, and it's such a random thought, but I was just thinking, like, these individuals were just partying, like, you know, in a lot of slash movies, you do have that party aspect where the characters they're drinking, they're smoking, they're having a good time, and you know, everyone knows the trope now where it's like, if you're drinking and having sex and doing drugs, you get killed. You know, people have watched Scream, blah blah blah. I'm not saying this stuff like if you haven't seen those movies, that's cool. Like, I'm just saying, like, I hate saying stuff that people have said like 50,000 times, and like, they act like it's like new info. Like, I'm not trying to say this is new info. I'm just making the connection in my head. But yeah, like people are always drinking and turning up and partying in slash movies, but these fools were like, they always had a drink in their hand. Like, I like drinking, but I was thinking like, this is how you know they were drinking a lot, because I like to drink like big time, and I was thinking like, man, I think they need to slow down a little bit. Like, if I'm saying you need to slow down, you might have some issues going on that you need to address. And then they're like constantly smoking, they're chain smoking, and then when they're down in the mine, they're dipping. Cause I was like thinking, I was like, well, like why are they dipping now? They're dipping and smoking, like, cause usually people do either or. You don't like smoke cigs and then also dip. Like, usually either people like to smoke cigs or they like to dip. But then I was thinking, because it's like the methane gas, they can't smoke cigs down there, so like they have to have their nicotine at all times. So it's like, when it like the one guy too, he's like always smoking cigars. Like, every waking minute that these guys are like, if they're not sleeping, they're smoking a cigarette or dipping. Like, I mean, I understand, like, dude, nicotine is like extremely addictive, but like these fools were like beyond addicted. Like, what are they? They're smoking like 2 packs a day each, and they're probably dipping like a tin or two a day. And I feel like these fools are like drinking a whole case every day, like every single day. Like, is this just because it's Valentine's Day and it's the holiday and they're having fun and partying, or like, do these fools like have a problem? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to like say that lightly, because like if people do have a problem, like, that's no joke and that's a very hard thing to deal with. But I just I was just thinking, like, as a viewer, like, man, like, this isn't even like the amount they're like turning up. It's not even like fun partying amount. This is like, they're like, it's like unhealthy, you know? But anyways, that was the last thing that I had on my notes. So I'm gonna wrap things up here. But first, I'm gonna give you all my little recommendation. And I mean, you heard the review. I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. Like, this is one of the better 80s slasher movies I've seen, period. Like, cause I love 80s slasher movies. A lot of my all-time favorite slasher movies are from the 80s, but at the same time, there are quite a few that are like boring, or quite a few that kind of just like suck, like, because they made so many. Like, that was like the thing at the time. It's like, it's like nowadays with like the superhero movies, like the superheroes movies make money, so they keep making them. It's like the slasher movies were cheap and they're making money, so people kept making them. And when there was like an oversaturation of them, pretty much, for like a little bit, which I'm happy with, because like I can go back and watch like so many, like I'll never run out. And it's not like they're movies from that era can be made anymore, because it's like that's just a moment in time. But it's like, with so many being made, like, of course there's gonna be sucky ones, there's gonna be bad ones, but this one was like up there with, like, I could see this being on lists, like, easily. I could easily see this being on lists of like top 10 greatest like 80 slashers of all time. It was phenomenal. Like, I was not bored at all. I was not, like, there was nothing I disliked. I was like so happy. Like, I was really excited to watch this, and I actually had like really high expectations, and then it met my expectations, but it pretty much, like, it kind of like exceeded them. I was like, what? Like, these kills are crazy. Like, this story's awesome. Like, this is creepy. Like, it's hitting all the marks. So yeah, I would 100% recommend this movie. I mean, this is like this is a top tier horror movie. Great thing to watch around Valentine's Day. I mean, it's great holiday slasher. What more can you say? Like, this movie rocks. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it, and then watch the remake after. Cause guess what? The remake slaps too. And you got the boy Tom Atkins in there. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? Like, go watch it. But anyways, that's all I want to say about My Bloody Valentine. So I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.